There's some FPV, by the way. This is how we travel through Kostiantynivka now, with a shotgun to take down FPVs and a drone detector.
So how is it going?
Not very well for us.
Okay.
On the road, trucks are carrying Dragon's Teeth for new fortifications. Workers are erecting pylons in haste for anti-drone nets to protect vehicles from enemy drones. Some new dugouts scour the surrounding countryside. Upon arriving at Kostiantynivka, the city is deserted. All we can hear is the rumbling of artillery, the beep of the drone detector, and all we can see are burned cars on the side of the roads. Some of them weren't there a month ago. We're around Kostiantynivka right now with the 28th Brigade. I'm literally in front of a M109 self-propelled howitzer. So everyone's getting used to the fact that this war is being fought mainly with drones, right? And that's true, that's the reality of the war. But in the meantime, to stop Russia's advance, especially here around Kostiantynivka, well, the guys need that kind of beast to stop them. So this is behind me a M109 self-propelled howitzer, US-made. Ukraine has roughly 100 of them. Now, the thing to know about the M109 is that despite having been created, or that is deployed around the 60s, and despite having gone through, well, a lot of wars, so First Vietnam War, Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, you name it, it's been everywhere. It's a very versatile vehicle, and today, well, Ukraine learned to adapt it to this very specific terrain. It's a very, very shell-hungry war. So, when it comes to specifics, it's a 6 meters long cannon, 155 NATO standards millimeter caliber. But the vehicle itself is like 9 meter, which is not the biggest self-propelled howitzer in this category. It's roughly 30 tons, not the heaviest, but in the meantime, extremely accurate. It can shoot up to 40 kilometers and up to 21 kilometers with special fragmentation shells. What are the pros and the cons of this machine?
I really like the vehicle because it's easier to use. When it comes to the 2S3, you're sitting there, there's not enough space and it's hard to load. Hard for the whole crew. But the Paladin is much easier, as you just grab, load it, set it, and that's it. You fire. The fact that you can fire from inside the vehicle and from the outside, that's a big advantage. Because even if something explodes inside, the whole crew will survive. And it's generally safer to fire from the outside. It's much easier to load. You use less energy. And you have more options to make things easier for yourself.
So it has a round rate per minute of 4 rounds per minute. Now at a sustain rate it's 1 per minute. And it has potentially a storage of like 30 to 39 shells. Can you smoke here near the shells?
No, we've moved away from the shells. We're not smoking there, we're smoking right here. As a good friend told me, be careful when you smoke. It could be your last.
And how's the situation now around Kostiantynivka?
I don't know how it will be, what it will be. Time will tell. Things might be good today, bad tomorrow. No one really knows how it will go in this situation. Every day is different. Sometimes we have more people, sometimes they do. Sometimes they shoot well, sometimes we shoot well. Crew, into position. Plus.
The howitzer first needs to get its muzzle out of the dugout. In the meantime, the crew gets the shells ready and assembles the charges and the shells inside. We'll shoot a few more shells. Until it's time to take cover. Time to run to the shelter and fast. We can hear the characteristic buzzing of an FPV overhead. We don't know if it's ours or theirs.
FPV, guys, FPV. Get to the shelter quickly. The vehicle now. Siri, there's an FPV drone near the gun. Give me the rifle. Could it be one of ours? Who knows?
The spades stabilizing the guns are stuck in the wet sludge, meaning getting the machine back into the dugout is painfully slow. These are precious lost seconds for these men when drones are flying. We'll later learn that the targets were some infantry and Russian FPV drone pilots' positions hidden a few kilometers away, positions that the Ukrainians used to hold a year ago.
Let's say into position. That means whichever vehicle is considered most suitable, the one facing the right direction, the one that's easiest to use, depending on the charges, the shells. That's it. We get the coordinates, choose the optimal shell and charge, and go to work. We aim. The command into position is given, and while the firing data is being calculated, the crew takes up combat positions on the vehicle, aims, and engages based on the target. That's roughly how it goes, in short. Generally, what's the best kind of target? Targets vary. Sometimes it's a military shelter, sometimes infantry, sometimes vehicles, sometimes it's an assault or an offensive. It's different every time. A lot of equipment. Recently there were those mangals moving in, and we hit them too. Artillery hits them. FPV drones hit them. So far, everything has been stopped. God willing, it'll keep going that way. They're attacking a lot. They come in small groups, but there are many of them, and there aren't that many of us. Right now, we're mostly on the defensive, but damn, we're trying. We're doing what we can. We fight, we fight, we fight. 1 kilometer is ours, then 1 kilometer is theirs, then it's ours again, then it's theirs again, and like that, bit by bit. I think it will all end by New Year. By then, I'll already be by the sea, in Odessa, on vacation.
Now the big unknown here is whether or not Ukraine will have enough shells to actually sustain this fight, because right now, especially with the Russians closing around Kostiantynivka and Pokrovsk, well, these artillery, self-propelled artillery guns are getting even more important.
My motivation is to finish it all and go home, to my girlfriend, to my parents, to rest, to travel somewhere someday. Just to end it faster. To win and go home. With smiles, back to my family. And what motivates you the most to continue your work? For them to die faster. Faster is the first thing. The more of them, the better. The fewer of them, the more of us. Little by little, destroy them, and everything will be fine. Ukraine will prevail.
Right now, 3 years in the full-scale invasion, this is how the war in Europe looks like. It's muddy, it's fought underground between artillery, which is forced to hide from FPV, and there's some FPV, by the way. As you see, this is the reality of the war, and this is what the West should understand, because Russia is definitely getting ready for war with NATO over the next 5 years. And that's the kind of lessons that actually Western armies should understand. This reality of how the war in the 21st century in Europe looks like. It's muddy, it's dirty, and it's definitely deadly.
I have my family at home. I have 4 daughters and grandchildren. This war has taken from me overall. I have my motivation. I'll be here until the very end, and we will win no matter what. We will definitely win. And someday, our children and grandchildren will appreciate what we've done. I believe we're doing the right thing, and in any case, we will be victorious. That's probably the motivation. My motivation is to live in a free country, so that our children can walk safely without anything falling on their heads.
So today, these guys need a robot anti-aircraft, meaning that basically there are ground robots, ground drones, with anti-aircraft launchers on it, because they cannot send people on the very first line without having them being killed, and they want to save lives. So if you too want to save Ukrainian lives, you can donate on link, which is under the video, and really every little cent help to bring them closer to victory and these guys faster home.